Hi kids, Pastor Bob here. Another series of Jump In, and today we're going to talk about Jonah and the whale. It's a great story. So once upon a time, there was a guy named Jonah. This is Jonah. Say hi, Jonah. Hello, everybody. So Jonah was picked by God, and God said to Jonah, Jonah, I want you to go to that great city Nineveh, where all those terrible people live, and I want you to tell them to change their ways or else. Okay? Now, Jonah didn't like the people that lived in Nineveh because they used to beat him up in the schoolyard all the time. So Jonah said to God, which way is Nineveh? And God said, that way. And so Jonah went that way. And he went away and he got to the seashore and he got on a boat. That's a boat. Can you see my boat? And he got on a boat and he set sail for a city called Tarshish, right? And he got there and the weather started getting very rough and the boat was going back and forth and back and forth. And the captain came to Jonah and said, hey, Jonah, what's going on here? He said, God must be mad with somebody because he's making my boat really go bad in the storm. And Jonah says, God's mad at me. So the captain threw Jonah overboard. And the captain sailed away in his boat. But Jonah was swimming in the water, and all of a sudden, he was eaten by a great, big, fat, smelly, stinky whale. And the whale ate Jonah up and just sucked Jonah up and was swimming around in the ocean, all with Jonah in his belly. See, he's in his belly. Jonah is swimming around in the ocean for 3 days. Can you imagine being inside a big, fat, stinky whale for 3 days? And guess what happened? The whale swam to the shore and put Jonah right on the shores of Nineveh where he didn't want to be in the first place. And he just spit him out. And Jonah says, oh no, now I'm stuck in Nineveh. What am I supposed to do? And God said, I want you to do what I told you to do. I want you to tell the people of Nineveh to change their ways or else. And so Jonah went up to the castle, knocked on the door, and the king opened the door. And the king opened the door and said to Jonah, what do you want? And he said, God said, you better change your ways or else. And the king said, okay. And he changed his ways. And he told all the people of Nineveh. And there was his prince of Nineveh. And there was his chief of police of Nineveh. And who's this guy? Batman. And the chief counselor to change their ways, and they all did, and God did an amazing thing. He said, okay, now that you changed your ways, I'm going to save you. And Jonah says, oh no, you can't do that. I don't like these people. Why are you going to save them? And God said, because when I ask people to change their ways and they change them, I'm very happy. So the people of Nineveh went, yay! But Jonah went, boo. Jonah didn't like that so much. So Jonah was very upset, and he went up high on a mountain, and he hid. And he looked down at the city of Nineveh, and everybody in Nineveh was happy, but Jonah was unhappy. And he was unhappy because God saved the people of Nineveh that he didn't like. But you know what? God said to Jonah, but I love you so much. I want you to be happy. And so Jonah, who was sitting out in the hot, hot sun, God said, I'm going to build you a shade tree. God put a nice shade tree over his head. And Jonah sat there and said, I'm still mad at these people. So God said, okay, I'll take the shade tree away. But the moral of the story is when God wants you to change and you do it, God's happy. And God says, yay. But sometimes we're not so happy when the people that we don't like, and Jonah didn't like the people of Nineveh, I don't like you. But I like you, but I don't like you. But God says, I forgive you. I forgive both of you. Jonah for not listening to me, and the people of Nineveh for being so mean. I want you to be friends. And they became friends. And they lived happily ever after, because God loved us all. And God wants us to save our enemies rather than be mean to them. And that's the story of Jonah, the king of Nineveh, all of his people, and also the big, fat, stinky whale. That's the story, boys and girls. I hope you enjoy it. We'll see you next week. Have a great, great day. Bye-bye.